So I don't know if you remember, because you were moving fast back then. I had just discovered God's call in my life in big, robust way after my first walkabout. And I asked you to mentor me.
Right here in this parking spot.
Well, in fact, I was talking around the notion of mentoring, and you said, look, if you want me to mentor you have to ask. And that was the first lesson. The second lesson was I asked, and then you said, I don't know, I have to get back to you. And that means sometimes you have to wait and be patient. And what was the third lesson?
That ultimately, if you're patient, it may come your way. So when I said
What's
yes,
that?
and that was 25 years ago, that yes has led to this.
That's right.
Really, in many ways, your leadership was defined by mentoring others, right? For a long time, it was me picking on you.
But then we
Who said, yeah, come on back and we'll give you something to do. Like that. So let's just stop right there. No, let's stop there.
So on our walk over, we started talking about memorable moments or key influencing moments with mentors that you had in your life. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So mentors are usually better at most things than we are. I can remember when I first started. I was a campus pastor. That was when the campus pastor and dean of students were the same thing. Les Blank was the dean of the School of Theology, and he was mentoring me what it meant to be responsible in chapel. So my first chapel address, I worked, got it ready. It was an upper TCC because that's all we had. The student body was smaller and we couldn't fill upper TCC. So I got up, I gave my first chapel address, and I'm done in like 10 minutes or less. It's a 30-minute chapel. I get down, sit in the chair right beside Les, and he said, hey, good stuff. You might want to go a little longer next time. There are mentors who speak into our life in corrective ways, and we receive it lovingly because we know it's good for us, right? So when I was a student, I was mostly taking it in, and this faculty mentor of mine gave me books to read, and our conversations were really new ideas. When I graduated, I was hired as a janitor. That was my first job out of college. But Jan Davis, the woman who was mentoring me in custodial services, had a bar of excellence. So how the curtains hung, how the bathrooms looked, that mentoring took on a much more precise measurement, right? So the curtains either worked, the bathrooms were either clean or not. And then when I became a mentor, in that first year, Tim Perga challenged me and he said, you're gonna supervise student custodial workers. Can this be so much more than cleaning the bathrooms? And so we met at 6:30 in the morning to have discipleship conversations with the crew that cleaned the bathrooms. So I don't know about you, but for me, mentoring a discipleship changed for me as I learned more about it and more about myself over time.